Welcome, everyone. Town of Prescott Valley Council meeting, July 11th, 2019. I'd like to invite Pastor Terrell Eldrith from the First Southern Baptist Church to come on down for our invocation. Do we see the pastor here? No? Not at that time. Well, I'd ask everyone if they would like to please rise. We're going to do the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Clerk, please call roll.
Mayor Palguda?
Present.
Vice Mayor Nye?
I'm definitely here.
Councilmember Anderson?
Here.
Councilmember Grossman?
I'm here.
Councilmember Mallory?
Here.
Councilmember Schumacher?
Here.
And Councilmember Packard.
Present.
We have a quorum, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. We're going to start off with item 5, proclamation. It's going to be Parks and Rec Month.
Okay. Parks and Recreation Month, July 2019. Whereas parks and recreation programs are an integral part of communities throughout this country, including the town of Prescott Valley, and whereas our parks and recreation are vitally important to establishing and maintaining the quality of life in our communities, ensuring the health of all citizens, and contributing to the economic environmental well-being of a community and region. And whereas parks and recreation programs build healthy, active communities that aid in the prevention of chronic disease, provide therapeutic recreation services for those who are mentally or physically disabled, and also improve the mental and emotional health of all citizens. And whereas parks and recreation programs increase a community's economic prosperity through increased property values, expansion of the local tax base, increased tourism, the attraction and retention of businesses, and crime reduction. And whereas parks and natural recreation areas improve water quality, protect groundwater, prevent flooding, improve the quality of the air we breathe, provide vegetative buffers to development, and produce habitat for wildlife. And whereas our parks and natural recreation areas ensure the ecological beauty of our community and provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and recreate outdoors. And whereas the U.S. House of Representatives has designated July as Parks and Recreation Month, and the town of Prescott Valley recognizes the benefits derived from parks and recreation resources. Now, therefore, I, Cal Balguda, Mayor of Prescott Valley, do hereby proclaim and recognize the month of July as Parks and Recreation Month in the town of Prescott Valley, and call upon park and recreation supporters to join us in recognizing the importance of our nation's parks and recreation facilities, and encourage our citizens to enjoy all the recreation activities available in their community.
Good evening, members of Prescott Valley. I'm Elaine Fallman. I'm a commissioner for Parks and Rec. And this is Lori Hunt, who is our latest commissioner. And we are privileged to be here today and to pick up this great proclamation for the town, for our commissioners, for our director, Brian Whitty, and all the members of his staff. This is an honor for us, and we're delighted to have it delivered to us tonight. Lori, you want to say something? Okay. Councilman Laura Lee Nye has requested I tell you about the all-inclusive park, which is going up right now at the corner of Glassford Hill and Santa Fe Loop. The name of the park is Santa Fe Station Park. We call it all-inclusive because it will take care of all children with disabilities and those that do not have disabilities. All of the playground equipment is suited for those in wheelchairs or any other problem they might have, and we can accommodate all of the children, no matter what age, and this is the first park we have like this in our town. So it's really wonderful that we are doing that now and take care of all of our children. Lori, did you want to say something?
And I think for pickleball, right?
And pickleboard's up, not quite ready to be played yet.
So I just wanted to say, I especially love, being an economic developer, I especially love the section in the proclamation that said that it helped with economic development because, you know, location, and Prescott Valley is an awesome place to be. You know, we have the chamber here every meeting with a new business, which is great. And I always like to say between the schools and Parks and Rec that those are two of the most important incentives in a city. And one other thing, I have my good friend with me tonight, Kelly Ciardo, and he's the mayor of the city of Murrieta, California. Stand up.
Welcome.
So now we're going to do something that we've never done before, but we're going to start doing it. And it's going to be recognizing our future soldiers and those that are have committed to going into the military from our local area. So tonight we're going to start off with first bringing down the representatives from, I believe, the Army and the Navy right now. And then we're going to call up our future soldiers from the Army as well as the Navy and just be able to recognize them and show them our appreciation. So at this time, when I call your name, if you would just please come up and we'll just start lining up here. There's a lot of you folks, so. Joshua Below. And what they're receiving now is going to be the Mayor's Recognition Award. And I'll read it to you one time. It says, "With thanks and gratitude, we express our deepest gratitude and congratulate you for making the choice to serve your community and country as you begin a career in the United States Army. Your service is the ultimate commitment to excellence and self-improvement, and we thank you for this choice to uphold and strengthen the liberties and freedoms that our great country was founded on." It says, congratulations. Lene Beal. Did I say that right? Lene Beal. Neffy Bushman. And if I butcher your name, I apologize.
Don't hold it against us.
Sydney Gonzalez. Joshua Green. It takes a little bit to get down here, so it doesn't hurt to start a little bit. Come on down, guys. Zion Halstead. Kobe Harden. Kenneth Heineman. You tested me on this one. Zachary Koblachek.
Now that's a good name.
Only you would think that.
Tyler Coach. Bryson May. Brent Morris. It's okay, you can clap for him. Josephat Perez. That's some family members right there. Michael Joneas. Jason Lopez. There you go, Jason. Levi Marrier. Robert Bell. Harrison Tran, Justin Hollis, Are we missing someone? Have you changed your mind and you haven't told your recruiter yet? Come on up here, Anthony. You may not have been on my list, but we want to make sure you get up here, though. The Vice Mayor is now going to read off our Navy future.
All right, to follow your lead, we express our deepest gratitude and congratulate you for making the choice to serve your community and your country as you begin a career in the U.S. Navy. And I'm going to stop right here and tell you how proud I am to have a granddaughter in the Navy intelligence. Your service is in the ultimate commitment to excellence and self-improvement, and we thank you for this choice to uphold and strengthen the liberties and freedoms that our great country was founded on. And first up is Alexis Grasso. And my goodness, Matthew Grasso. And Matthew Fredericks. How about a challenge again? Matthew Grandro. Jandro. Straighten this out here. We want to get it right. And now it's Brianna Salerno. And how about Isaac Utter? No Isaac? Get up here, Isaac. How about Joseph Blevins? No, Joseph's not here. Okay. How about Rand Smith? Thank you. Rand. And we have Lily Hunter. Woo! And we have Austin Luther. And we have Christian Lawson. And we have Jonah Hicks. And we have Hannah Barrett. Okay, thank you. And we have Kobe Meldrum. And we have Joshua Schaefer. And we have Joseph McLean. Nobody's getting up on that one. Okay. How about Trinity Perkins? Was it? Nope. There she is. Chase Miller. No Chase Miller. He exists, not here. Adriana Ramirez. We're almost at the bottom. James Chapman. Tessa Madden.
At this time, I'd like to invite members of council to make comments.
Well, my father served in the Army during World War II. My husband was in the Navy during Vietnam. My son was a Marine and is now back home. So, of course, military is very dear and close to all of our hearts. So thank you for your commitment, and we wish you the best.
Sir.
Well, I want to address this to all of you. First of all, I want to congratulate you on a great decision that you've made. 53 years ago, I made the same decision, and after 24 years, I retired, and then I spent the next 8 years recruiting for the National Guard in Nevada. And you're at the beginning of a career that I know you'll be proud of, and I hope for you to have the same kind of pride in your career that I had in mine. And for those of you that are going into the Army, perhaps some of you will be fortunate enough to have the opportunity to go into the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment. Myself, my son, and my grandson have all spent time there, and I would hope that some of you will also be able to do that. So congratulations, and I hope you'll come back to see us when you get back in town. Thank you very much.
Well, this is just a wonderful sight tonight. And honestly, the reason that we meet in safe and freedom is because of men and women like you who go forward and protect the country. So we thank you very much. My father was in World War II in the Army. I have two sons. One's retired out of the Army and another one who is a sapper at this time. So God bless all of you. Thank you.
I just want to thank all of you for signing up and recruiting. I did my enlistment in 1969, and I served until 75. My father was served during the Korean War. My uncle served during the Korean War. My other uncle served in the Navy during the Korean War. So it goes back in my family also. Just so you know, when you do finally get out and you're back as a civilian, the doors that this opportunity will open for you and the training that you will receive in the military will be greatly beneficial to a career in the civilian world once you get there. So congratulations, and thank you for stepping up and protecting our country and continue the fight. Thank you.
Well, folks, congratulations. I'm a 20-year Air Force veteran, retired. There's a couple of us old retirees up here. But you're about to start on a huge adventure. You folks keep it up good, do your best, and by golly, you'll get rewarded. And I would strongly recommend sticking around. I think the 20 years is still there, isn't it? Yep. The rewards are great after 20 years, folks. Just stick it out. And congratulations.
If you didn't already know you're in family, I have to honor the rest of my family. I already shared about my naval granddaughter. I'm an Army wife, and it wasn't easy, guys. And I have a Marine nephew and a Marine grandson. I have some granddaughters that are in the Air Force. We've covered it. And so I want you to understand you're with family here today. And you're going to find this whole community is your family. And I want you to feel it. And we honor you with the deepest, humblest respect. And we'll always be grateful for you. You know why? Because I'm a great-grandma. And you're going to take care of my great-grands, security and freedom.
Folks, just summing up real quickly, thank you again for being here tonight. It is truly important, and being the first time that we've gotten a chance to say thank you as a community, we sincerely believe that. And I thank the Army and the Navy for allowing this to happen tonight. And one of the things that we've also been discussing is in the event that you don't do 20 years, and you come on out and you want to come back to Prescott Valley, that the town of Prescott Valley will guarantee you an interview with Human Resources. We can't guarantee you a job, but we can at least guarantee you an opportunity to sit down with our Human Resources, and maybe at the time there's an opportunity for you here with the town of Prescott Valley if you'd like it. So we appreciate that, and we thank you. And I think we'll just have a few words from the people that made this happen.
I'm Sergeant First Class Vinson, Station Commander for the Army Recruiting Office here in Prescott Valley. First off, Mayor, thank you. Council, thank you, all the guests, the family that came out. 16 and a half years ago, I was standing right here. Right, my first 10 years with the 101st Airborne as infantry, deployed every other year. Been around the world more than a few times, and I promise you it's worth it. Keep moving, stay strong, and I promise you it's worth it. Your family comment is spot on. We are a family. Welcome to it. Sergeant Franks has something for you, sir. As appreciation.
Sir, thank you. And one of the things also we have to congratulate you because you just recently became a father for the first time in the past week, correct? So good for you. I appreciate this, sir, and this will go up in our office, the council office and my office, and whenever you come by with that little one, you'll be able to see it. So thank you.
You shuffle to the right. It's going to happen all the time now.
You need more?
This one, guys.
Let people in the back pull people in the front.
Keep it coming, guys. Come on, guys. Think we're okay?
Better if everybody turned around and the photographer came up next. That's a beautiful picture. Look at that.
It's a nice plaque.
And all the moms and dads here and family, we thank you. I mean, you obviously did a job well done, so thanks, everyone. All right, folks, we're going to move on to the Chamber of Commerce. Brady Cabral, I don't know if you're going to be able to top that, but, I mean, you can give it a try.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So I'm Brady. I'm with the Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce. And while we are celebrating prosperity in Prescott Valley, I am just here to call some attention to and celebrate growing business in Prescott Valley. So today I would like to introduce Chef Terry and MJ Smith of Chef Shacks.
Oh.
Thank you for allowing us to come in and talk with you tonight. We are a new food truck and catering company who opened our window the second week in May. We also launched a new Facebook page when we opened our food truck here, and we have 800 followers just in the 2 months that we've been up and running. We opened our window at Prescott Valley Days with the help of the Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce, who has been so very welcoming and supportive of new businesses in this area. We do special events. We do catering. Chef Paul has been in the business for 35 years. He trained at the Culinary Institute of America and has been an executive chef all across the country. So one thing that we bring to the truck that's different than a lot of food trucks is we change our menu every week. So like us on Facebook, follow us, and you'll get to see what our menu is. But as I mentioned, we also do caterings. We'll do anything from a backyard barbecue for 10 of your friends where you don't want to deal with cleaning up and cooking, or that special event where you're serving 1,000 people to launch a new invention or whatever it is that you have going. So we just wanted to come and say hi. We are new to the area. We would love your business. If you need to be fed, we can feed you.
So I can attest to, obviously I like to eat. They make very, very good food. I've eaten there a couple of times already. I encourage you to check out their business long before this date, but the 26th of this month we'll be having a Food Truck Friday at the Chamber. So if you want to come out to the Chamber of Commerce, we'll have them in our parking lot all day long, which is going to be terrible for me, but great for them. So welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much for what you brought us. It smells amazing, and I'm sure it's going to taste amazing as well.
Yeah, we love being spoiled.
So for you up there tonight, we brought you some of our pulled pork, which is our house specialty. We actually wrap the pork loin in the pork butt and the pork shoulder in plantain leaves, and it's smoked for about 12 hours, and then it's marinated in our sweet Hawaiian barbecue. So it's delicious. You're going to enjoy that. We also had some of our smoked chicken salad, just to give you an idea of the variations that we do. Our Friday special is hand-breaded fried catfish and fried shrimp. So we have a very wide range of items on our menu. So please like us on Facebook so you get those messages.
Thank you so much.
Take a 20-minute recess so we can eat.
Good to eat now?
Excellent, thank you.
If anybody wants knife and fork, we got them.
All right, moving on to item 7, council comments, communication. Councilwoman Schumacher.
I have none at this time.
No.
I just have to say thank you for all of our town for a fabulous 4th of July. We're never disappointed. Thank you, everyone who worked so hard.
Ma'am.
I'm fine, Mayor. Thank you.
Councilman Grossman.
I don't have the exact date. I think it's August 17th, but we're going to have a fundraiser for the Yavapai Family Advocacy Center. It's an annual event called Hope Still Floats. This year's theme is Here's Looking at You. For those of you that know, that would be from Casablanca. So it's usually a themed night. We have a silent auction, live auction, great meal, and entertainment. So keep the date open. I will have more information as we get a little closer. Thank you.
Moving on, item 8, consent agenda. All matters listed on the consent agenda are considered routine by the town council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately for discussion and possible action. Council, we've all had a chance to review items A through M as in Mary. Any questions, comments, or items we wish to remove?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda by electronic vote.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
I'll second that.
Clerk, please call the vote.
That's approved unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Move on to item 9, old business. It will be the second reading of ordinance number 864 and approval of zoning map changes ZMC 19-005, Northern Arizona Heating and Air LLC. Clerk.
Ordinance number 864. An ordinance of the mayor and the common council of the town of Prescott Valley, a municipal corporation of Arizona, amending the town's zoning map change 19-005 by changing the zoning classification of lot 6456 in unit 16 from R2-3 residential multiple dwelling units to P1 parking, and providing that this ordinance shall be effective 30 days after its passage and approval according to law.
Thank you, ma'am. Shall this ordinance pass?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Item B, second reading, ordinance number 865, and approval of zoning map change ZMC 19-002, TDH Investments, LLC. Clerk, please read the ordinance.
Ordinance number 865, an ordinance of the Mayor and the Common Council of the Town of Prescott Valley, a municipal corporation of Arizona, amending the town's zoning map change 19-002 by changing the zoning classification of lots 27, 28, Prescott Country Club, Unit 1, located on the northeast corner of the Old Chisholm Trail and Arabian Lane, from R2-2 residential, multiple dwelling units, to RS, residential and services zoning, and providing that this ordinance shall be effective 30 days after its passage and approval according to law.
Thank you, ma'am. Shall this ordinance pass?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on, item 10, new business. Consideration of appointing Joe Larive to the Library Board of Trustees. Sir, come on up. And Councilman Anderson, I believe you have a few words.
Yes, I do. One position on the Library Board of Trustees became open when Larry Martin completed his final term, ending June 30th, 2019. Mr. Martin was appointed to the Library Board of Trustees on September 8th, 2011, to fill an existing term with a renewal date of June 30th, 2013. He served 3 consecutive terms, with the last term ending June 30th, 2019. Vice Mayor Laura Lee Nye, myself, and Council Member Marty Grossman conducted an interview with Joe Larivee. Thank you very much.
We were all going to do something different.
I've asked everybody in here if they had any idea how to pronounce that, so thank you very much. Joe Larivee, for a previous open position on the Library Board of Trustees. We're recommending the appointment of Joe Larivee to fill the vacancy made by the departure of Larry Martin with the term renewal date of June 30th, 2022. And now it's your turn, Joe, to our
Well, I'll
Kathy.
introduce Joe here.
Absolutely.
And Joe was very kind because I did the same thing. It's like, how do you say your last name? And he said, think of Laramie, but Larivee. So it was like, good teacher already. So it's like he's ready. And so we're blessed, and we want to thank you very much for interviewing him and choosing him. So we're excited. He did have time on the Prescott board, so we're excited to have the inside scoop now. So.
Yes, as she mentioned, I had an opportunity to work with the Prescott Library Board, and I enjoyed that. Now that I'm in a new city, I think it's important that I become part of the community, and part of the community requires that I volunteer for things. And so being on the library board is a good thing for me.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Well, we also felt it was a good thing for us, so
Yes.
thank you for volunteering for
We
that.
really enjoyed the interview with you. We don't always say that, so I hope you will enjoy that comment.
Plus, it's always nice when we have somebody who's well qualified and experienced in the job. So, thank you.
And Larry, thank you.
As most of you know, I very rarely speak, but I feel moved to this time. And you weren't going to get out of this swan song anyway. There are 2 foundations of my life as I grow older. One of them is love, and hopefully God's love, and the other one is laughter. And I have loved working in this library. I've loved working with all of you too. It's been a good experience. I'm sorry Don and Kendall has missed working with me. It's been a pleasure. I can't believe I said that.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. but seriously, it has been great. I go back to Bob, as many of you do too, when the library was there, and seeing it grow, and volunteering when it went into the new library, and Oh, by the way, I'm still volunteering in the library, so you're not getting off scot-free. But it's been good. And there are many things that are going to be happening in that library under Casey's direction that's going to really move into this community and bring this community closer into our Prescott Valley Council and people that are working in it. So I thank you very much. And as I've said many times, the library could not have done it without all of you behind it and supporting it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Make a motion if you're ready, Mayor.
Absolutely, ma'am. Go ahead.
Motion to approve Joe Larrabee to the Library Board of Trustees to a term with a renewal date of June 30th, 2022. Doesn't that have a nice ring to it?
I'll second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
It passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on, item B, consideration of adopting resolution number 2100 approving FDP 19-011 Prestige Moving for an RV storage facility in Big Sky Industrial Park. Sir?
Thank you. The computer's locked, so I'll just state that the plan for the, as shown for RV storage, is FDP meets or exceeds all town standards, and we recommend approval. If there's any questions.
I don't have any questions, counsel. At this time, can we have a motion? Someone?
Oh.
I'll make a motion. Motion authorizing the mayor in his absence, the vice mayor, to sign resolution number 2100 approving FDP 19-011 and to sign any agreement under Prop 207 by electronic vote.
I'll second.
Thank you. Clerk, please call the vote.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to item C, consideration of adopting resolution number 2101, approving FDP 19-012, Four Seasons Investment for an ice and water vending structure at Fry's Shopping Center.
Again, thank you, Mayor. The FDP, as described and shown in your packet, meets or exceeds town standards for that district, and we recommend approval.
Questions or comments?
I'll make a motion to authorize the mayor, or in his absence, the vice mayor, to sign resolution number 2101, approving the FDP 19-012, and to sign any agreement under Proposition 207.
I'll make a second.
Clerk, with a motion and a second, please call the vote.
Passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Item D, consideration of approving consultant agreements related to joint facility litigation, including 1, April 11, 2019, retention letter with Orbach, Huff, Suarez, and Henderson, and 2, March 16, 2019, consultant agreement with Deal Group Architects.
Mayor and Council, I'll go ahead and speak to that. We had representatives of the Deal Architect Group in the building today. And they were going around getting ready to prepare their litigation disclosure as one of our experts. That's going to be due at the end of this month, and we will then be ready to start the march towards either a trial or another mediation process for the litigation that's been going on in relation to this building. We are grateful to have a pretty good stable of experts. The other person or firm that we're bringing on is another law firm. You might say to yourselves, are we lawyer heavy? Well, you know, we lawyers do need to lose weight every once in a while. But the truth is that these folks are specifically knowledgeable about the issue of construction cases. And we believe that by bringing them on, we're going to be able to hurry this litigation further. So if you'll go ahead and approve this, Larry has already signed these agreements. We need you to ratify it.
Thank you.
Well, then we better make a motion.
And it'll be two motions, by the way.
Yeah.
You'll see that you've got two motions there.
I'd like to make the motion. A motion to approve the consultant agreements related to joint facility litigation, including 1, April 11th, 2019 retention letter with Orbach, Huff, Suarez, and Henderson, and number 2, March 16th, 2019 consultant agreement with the Deal Group Architects.
And I'll second that.
Clerk, please call the vote.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Move on to item E. Consideration of authorizing mayor to sign intergovernmental agreements with Yavapai County for roadway improvements, including number 1, Viewpoint, Second Lane, CIP number S439, and item 2, Glassford Hill Free Flow Right, CIP number S458. Mr. Davis.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The item we have before you is an intergovernmental agreement with the Yavapai County. We did discuss this issue in work study on June 20th, so I think you're familiar with it. I'd like to go over just a few of the highlights. Council may recall that we did a study through the Central Yavapai Metropolitan Planning Organization on Highway 89A, and that study was complete in March of 18. With that study, we took significant public input over the year about what's the best for the corridor, different costs for projects, and what makes the best sense to spend our public dollar. So we took significant input from the public, and the consultant made recommendations. And this is the recommendation sheet that shows the two projects that we're considering that are...
Okay, good. That's all right.
That's not going to help us, Mr. Davis, just so you know.
It's just a blur.
Is it really blurred? Even on your... Yeah, we'd like to work on it if I need to make things better. But anyway, their project recommendations are number 4 and 6, so they're high on the project recommendation list. So we move forward as staff to work with Yavapai County staff to discuss the scope of these projects and put funding into place. So what you have before you is intergovernmental agreements for basically a 50-50 project funding split. The Board of Supervisors did approve their end of it on June 19th. And so what we're moving forward with, just show you what the projects are. This is one of the recommendations. This is the second lane to Viewpoint Drive, just north of 89A, up to Pronghorn Ranch Parkway. Estimated construction cost of that project is around $150,000. That's one of the projects in the intergovernmental agreement for funding. And the second project is the Glassford Hill Free Flow Right, if I slow down and say it right. And that means just that. The additional lane there along would add a third lane to Glassford Hill between the ramp there at 89A and also Tuscany North. So you can see that lane in there, so you would not have to stop at the signal, and that's the scope of that particular project. So with that in place, the intergovernmental agreement just sets the funding in place so we can begin design and construction of these particular projects in 50-50 split with the Yavapai County for funding, but actually we're going to be the project managers and lead the design and also the construction.
Excellent.
Any questions we can answer?
Council?
I just have a comment.
Yes.
I would just like to thank the Board of Supervisors for the partnership. It serves the community as a whole very well, and we absolutely appreciate the partnerships. Thank you, Norm, for all of the work that you do as well.
These are good projects. There's a little bit of expenditure here, but we'll see quite a bit of extra mobility for each of these projects on these two ramps at both Viewpoint and also Glassford Hill.
Excellent. Thank you.
I'll make a motion if you'd like.
Yes, ma'am.
Motion to authorize the mayor to sign intergovernment agreement with the Yavapai County for roadway improvements, including 1, Viewpoint, Second Lane, CIP number S439, and 2, Glassford Hill Free Flow Right, CIP number S458.
I'll second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Item F, consideration of approving amendment to town engineer agreement with Deva and Associates for design of Glassford Hill Road Free Flow Right in the amount of $60,540. Mr. Davis?
Well, I think we've waited long enough. We got the funding in place. Now it's time to start design. New budget year. That's my lead-in. This is design for the project. We just got the funding in place with Yavapai County. So This is for the design and amendment to the town engineer agreement. As you're well aware, Dave & Associates, through the town engineer, a very good design firm and construction management firm for construction of projects. So what the item you have before you is the design portion for this Glassford Hill free flow right in the amount of $60,540 through the town engineer agreement with the town of Prescott Valley.
Thank you,
Questions?
sir.
We definitely appreciate your quickness on this, for sure. I'll make a motion to approve the amendment to the town engineer agreement with David & Associates for design services in the amount of $60,540.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Clerk, with a motion and a second, please call the vote.
It passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on, item G, consideration of actions for Police Department front parking lot rehabilitation project, CIP number F457, including 1, awarding bid to Asphalt Paving and Supply in the amount of $36,786, and 2, approving contract with Regional Pavement Maintenance in the amount of $10,832. Mr. Davis.
Yes, Mayor, Council. This is specific to the Police Department front parking lot. So I'd like to take a little bit of time to show you the exhibit. I hope you can see it. This particular parking lot is the last that we're rehabilitating in our town buildings here. Councilman, recall last year, some of the newer parking lots, we can add just an asphalt rejuvenator, basically an asphalt paint. I think Council recalls that we did the PD back parking lot last budget year in June, the last week of June. We actually had to remove all the pavement. The pavement was shot, service life served, so we removed all the pavement and put a new pavement down. This particular front parking lot is a quasi of both. Staff has looked at this particular parking lot area and decided for good economy that we don't need to remove the whole lot. We can do a little of both. So this is one is, the other lots for the Civic Center Library were asphalt paints, total removal. This is a little half and half. The blue area you see depicted there of about 2,800 square feet, that has to be a total remove and replacement. And new pavement put down. You see the bid that we sent out for contractors for a competitive bid for the repaving of that particular area is that portion. And then the portion you see in that, what is that, a pinkish orange color? That's actually that part of the parking lot. We don't need to remove the pavement, but it does need to be rejuvenated. So we're going to ask a slurry seal, which is an asphalt product. That is to be done through state purchasing, competitive bidding, and that's a specialty application and requires special equipment. So that's why we weren't able to send it for local bid. There's really no local contractors. So good economy is to use the state purchasing contract and get the contractor up here to do that particular work with their equipment. So this will be a phased approach. I do want to point out the streets department, similar to the back parking lot, will actually go in and remove the pavement. We'll regrade it, find out what's underneath, hopefully all good news. We found a few things on the back parking lot we had to tune up with streets crews, but what we'll do is once we remove the pavement and haul it away, then the contractor will come in and pave the removal section, and then we'll get the other contractor in to basically put the slurry seal on the stalls that are in pretty good shape, as you see there, plus it'll include some restriping. So phased approach. We anticipate this project will go on over the month of July, latter part of July, early part of August. The nice thing is we've got good routes of access, so the police department can use a new lot and go out the back gate for a while. So we're real confident that it might take, as long as a month to do this particular project. So we'll be able to have other alternate parking areas while we perform this project and rehabilitate this particular parking lot. So other things we want to show is, as you can see some of the pictures that shows some of the condition of the lot. You can see in there some of the removals that is going to be, it's shot, it's time. And we waited actually to this time because with the police department renovation going on, a lot of this area was used up with construction equipment. So now that they're all out, the addition is done, we can go in now and tune up that particular parking lot. Do want to show you before we look at that, mentioned the back parking lot. That's actually a drone photo taken from our Channel 56 guys with the drone they have in place, and that shows you that back parking lot that we did the last week of June that was a total replacement and repaving. So you can see what that looks like, and I know the police department guys are very happy with this particular. So we were able to get in there once it got striped before they brought all their cars back behind the gated fence. But I like this picture the best myself because there's actually a little creativity to the lot. You can see it's got a dog leg to the right, for the parking stalls. But at any rate, that's what the rehabilitated back parking lot looks like, and we anticipate the front parking lot with moving forward with the ward with this new budget year. It'll look very, very similar, and we'll be up to date again and have great parking areas and their service level significantly enhanced. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about the front parking lot that we have. A couple awards, as I mentioned to council, there's going to be 2 awards here. One is for the competitive bid that we had 6 bidders for the lot repaving, and the other one will be for award to state contract for the asphalt slurry seal and restriping. 2 separate awards because this is a phased approach with different facets of construction.
Mr. Davis, I don't have any questions, but I just want to commend you and your staff for recognizing that you could approach it with almost a scalpel and pick and choose what you could have easily just said, hey, we're just going to redo the whole thing. Probably would have been easier, but recognizing that there was some salvageable areas of the parking lot certainly saved the taxpayers some money.
And thank you for that, because that's just good economy and, cost savings measure. You don't only pay for what you need and get it back tuned up. Thank you for that comment.
No other questions? Get a motion?
Make a motion. I'll make a motion to award the contract to the low responsive bidder, Asphalt Paving and Supply, for the Police Department front parking lot rehab project, CIP number F457, in the amount of $36,786. And number 2, approving...
We'll want to go ahead and just do those one at a time.
All right. With that, then, can we get a second on that?
I'll make a second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, can we just get a motion for number 2? Mr.
I'll make a motion to approve contract with Regional Pavement Maintenance in the amount of $10,832. By
Can I have a
electronic
second?
vote.
I'd like to second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
That also passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mr.
Mayor,
Davis.
Council.
Item H, consideration of approving amendment number 6 to agreement with CH2 MHILL OMI Jacobs. Renewing 5-year term for operations, maintenance, and management services for town utility systems, and setting scope and prices in fiscal year 1920. Sir?
So you're probably glad they're changing their name.
Probably a wise decision.
That was CH2M Hill.
It rolled off our...
Yeah, so...
We were just spelling it out. We're just spelling it out.
I know.
Entertainment,
It works.
What can I say?
It's actually Jacobs. We don't even use that name anymore, right?
We're picking
Well,
on it.
yeah, unfortunately, yeah, they've changed to Jacobs, but the actual entity or the contract is still under CH2M Hill OMI, which is the name that they've had for quite a long time. So that's still their legal entity name. But just to briefly recap, we had this discussion back last part of May, and we were talking about how this is the final year of this contract, and we go through and we do an annual scope and fee and so forth. And when we were talking about that, we had 2 different directions we could go, and that was either to just do the final year and we'd have a 2.5% base fee increase, or we could do an early renewal of 5 additional years with a 0% base fee increase, which would save us about $562 over the next 6 years, which is the direction that you guys provided to us. And so I've just updated this a little bit. You saw this last time. We've added 5 new wells. We've completed the manual meter replacement program, so we've got that done. And did I skip one there? Nope. Okay. So this is what the contract essentially is going to look like. You can see the base fees don't change. Pretty straightforward. We do have reimbursable items included in this contract for things like repairs, for the biosolids disposal. So all of these are basically pass-through costs. There is no markup. They essentially, whatever the cost was, that's what we pay directly to Jacobs. And then we also have some special projects on here for things that we've already identified. I've also included the budget amount for those items, and then what we've reached an agreement with Jacobs to do the actual work for. You can see the overall bottom line is that we are lower than what our budget amount is. There's a couple line items that are a little bit different than how we originally envisioned it, but overall everything works out pretty good. And so the overall contract value for this is a little over $6 million with everything included. I would like to point out that with the contract that's in your packet, there have been a little bit of a change to that as of today. We just made a couple of clarifications on one of the, on Article 16.1, and the language in green has been added to the contract. It essentially, there was language in there before that said what the term of the contract was, and when we were updating that, we actually accidentally left that first line out that said the contract currently goes through the end of next year. So we're putting that back in and just clarifying a little bit. So you'll see that in the actual contract. And that's it.
Great. Any comments, questions? If not, can we get a motion?
Make a motion. Motion to approve amendment number 6. Sorry, I got to remember this. To the contractor CH2M Hill OMI, now known as Jacobs, for operations, maintenance, and management service for the years 1920 by electronic vote.
As revised, as proposed with the revision proposed?
Oh, yes. Thank you for the reminder. And I'll even remember, including the insertions of the green lettering, which completes an appropriate proposal.
And I'll second that.
Clerk, please call the vote.
Excuse me, that passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Finishing up with item I, consideration of actions for Aaron Lane Water Main Project, CIP number W459, including 1, awarding bid to Earth Resource Corporation in the amount of $174,257 and approving related budget transfer, and 2, approving amendment to town engineer agreement with Dava and Associates in the amount of $29,910.
So this is pretty straightforward. I've provided a map so that you can see where this is, although you were probably fairly familiar with it. This is related to the litigation with Franklin Phonetic and the water line that we were going to move off of the middle of their property. The existing water line is shown in red. The proposed water line is in green, the location in front along Aaron Lane, which is right adjacent to Big Five Sporting Goods store. And so, unfortunately, on this one, we only received 1 bid. Again, that's a sign of how robust the economy is. The contractors are out there are all busy, and so Earth Resources provided us a bid of $174,257, and so we're recommending award of that bid. In addition, we're also amending the town engineer agreement in the amount of $29,910. To cover the design work and the construction management associated with that. And so I would take any questions you might have.
I have one question. The existing water line, that has to be totally removed?
Yes.
Okay. It doesn't just get capped. It's got to be totally removed. Okay.
The agreement stated that we would be removing it or moving it, so
just want to make
they
sure.
wouldn't expect to see it there after we, quote, moved it.
We will want to make sure we have 2 separate votes on this again.
Sure.
I would just like to say how much I appreciate the town. They're just a really wonderful town. Thank you.
Can I have a motion for the first portion, please?
Somebody? Okay, I will. A motion A is to approve award of a construction contract to the lowest responsive bidder, Earth Resources Corporation, in the amount of $174,257 for the Aaron Line Water Main Project, CIP W459, including the related budget transfer by electronic vote.
I'll second that.
Clerk, please call the vote.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am.
And motion B, to approve an amendment to the town engineer agreement with Dave and Associates in the amount of $29,910 for the Erin Lane Water Main Project CIP W459 by electronic vote.
And I'll second that.
Clerk, please call the vote.
That too passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Somebody leave their glasses up here.
I don't know where those came from. Item 11, comments from the public. Consideration and discussion of general unscheduled comments from the public. Those wishing to address the council need not request permission in advance. Any such remarks shall be addressed to the council as a whole and not to any member thereof. Such remarks shall be limited to 5 minutes unless additional time is granted by the mayor. At the conclusion of the unscheduled comments, individual members of the council may respond to the item addressed at the discretion of the mayor, or they may ask that the town manager, or they may ask the town manager to review the matter, or ask that the matter be placed on a future agenda. With that being said, it is now open for comments. Anyone? All right. Moving on to item 12.
Should make the motion, Mary.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Can I have a second?
I'll second that.
Clerk, please call the vote.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thanks, man. Thanks, everyone. Good night.